So the recording has started, and I just admitted a few more families. So let me keep admitting them and then, perfect. Okay, so as I was mentioning earlier, my name is Mrs. Gandhi, and I'm going to be the coordinator this year. I want to take this chance to answer any questions you have. This is a time really for you to ask any questions, concerns. What are you worried about? What are you most excited about? And what are you worried about, and also give you a chance to meet our P4A president. She is logged on. I'm going to give her a chance to kind of discuss what P4A will be doing this year. I would like to take a few minutes to actually first talk about what our schedule looks like in a normal year, and then go into what our schedule will look like in the distance learning time and the hybrid time as well, so that you can see how they're the same and also how they're different. And then the rest of the time will be used to basically answer any questions that you have. So I'm going to share my screen. Are you able to see the bell schedule? If you can do a thumbs up or thumbs down. Can you see the bell schedule? Perfect. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. So in a normal year, what our bell schedule for our middle school families looks like this. So what this means is that we are on a block schedule. So all of our students take 4 periods a day. So and we have odd days and we have even days, and then we have what we call late start Wednesdays. So on Mondays, our students go to their odd classes. So they go to period 1, then they have a break, then they go to period 3, then they have advisory, and then it's their middle school lunch, passing period, period 5, passing period, and then period 7. So this odd day is on Mondays and Thursdays. Then we have even days, which are on Tuesdays and Fridays. And so they go to period 2, then there's a break, then period 4, advisory, lunch, passing period, 6th period, passing period, and then 8th period. And on Wednesdays, we have what we call late start Wednesdays. And so I'm going to show that. It's on the bottom. I think technology isn't necessarily let me stop sharing and then for some reason it's not working. But basically our on Wednesdays, our students arrive on campus at 9:40, and that is when their first class begins, and we do it backwards. So they start with 8th period, then they go to 1st period, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, advisory, and then they go to 5th, 6th, and then the end of the day is 7th period. Most of our middle school students do take 8 classes. However, the requirement is 7 classes. So there are some students who choose to only take 7 classes. So that means 2 days of the week on either an odd day or an even day, a student may get out of school as early as 2 o'clock. So depending on whether or not they're taking 8 classes or 7 classes. It is recommended that as a middle school student that you do that you do take 8 classes. And the reason for that is that it provides you an opportunity to take more arts classes. And so that is the benefit of taking 8 classes. However, we understand that some of our families are also in competitive dance or they take private lessons, and so only having to take 7 classes is also helpful for their family and their schedule as well. And so that's in a normal year. In a not normal year, which is what we're entering, we will be starting the year with distance learning. Our students will still be taking the same scheduled courses. So whatever they signed up for, whether they were at STAR or whether your counselor selects your classes for you. Typically speaking, our incoming 6th graders will start the year by taking an intro to visual arts course if they choose to take. That's a fun elective that they can take that we've just started this year that we're excited about. All 6th grade students take a preview course, and the preview course is basically a quarter-long course in each of the disciplines. So they will rotate every quarter into a different discipline. So they will get exposure to the visual arts, dance, art, and music as well as an incoming 6th grader. So that's really exciting. And then from there in 7th grade, they can pick and choose and start to narrow their focus. In 6th grade, we really like to have our students have an opportunity to take an arts class in every single discipline. So that's the preview. In addition to the preview, they will also get to pick another elective. So something that we've started that we're really excited about is we've started, like I mentioned earlier, an intro to visual arts course. We've also started a productions course as well, just for 6th grade. And so those are 2 courses that we've started that we're excited about that the 6th graders will also have an opportunity to take as well. And so they will take their planned courses when they arrive on campus, or whether they arrive virtually or in person. And then I can address any questions that you may have. I see that there are some questions already. Yes, I'm letting everyone in right now. Perfect. Okay. Any questions? So what else can I answer for you? I can also talk a little bit about what web will look like. I'll go into that, and then after that I can answer some questions that you have. Someone wants some more information on web as well. So web is a mentorship program that we have here at PFAA, and it stands for Where Everybody Belongs, and we love web. Miss Hepner runs the web program, and they are assigned a mentor, and the mentor is an 8th grade student. You may have already received an email about it, about web orientation. So web orientation will be from 9:30 till 11:30 in the morning. It will be just for students. Parents don't need to log on. Miss Hepner will be running the entire day. They will be put into breakout rooms with their mentors, do fun activities, do team building. This is a great chance for them to really understand who we are at PFAA. They will also get a virtual tour of the campus since they obviously won't be here initially. And then each of our web mentors will stop every few minutes and kind of explain, hey, if you need a schedule change, this is where you go. This is the form that you fill out. It's really an opportunity for them to have peer-on-peer connections. And also, if they're struggling, this is their mentor. This is the person that they would go to help them through this process. And then after 11:30, there will be a P4A presentation and a coordinator presentation where I will be talking to the families and also to the students. That's the part that we're still trying to figure out, because we also have schedule pickup during that time as well. So look out for your email. There will be a coordinator and P4A presentation that will come along with it as well. We just haven't narrowed down all of the times yet, but I would anticipate that your child will be busy all day on the 11th. They will have their virtual orientation, and then in some capacity they will either come to campus to pick up their schedule, and then also I have something fun planned for them as well. Any questions? I can start. Okay, so there are many questions, so I'm just going to get right into it. So the first question is, how will the entry assessments look like? Can you give me a little bit more information what you mean by entry assessments? So if I understand this correctly, if we're talking about a math placement, we do not do math placements for sixth graders anymore because we've adopted a new curriculum, which is CPM. It is a very rigorous curriculum, and they are suggesting, and their recommendation is that we not do a math placement in sixth grade. So all incoming sixth grade students will be placed in Math A. And then at the end of Math A, they will have the option to take a math placement assessment, so that then in seventh grade, they can take an accelerated course such as Math B and C. And then in eighth grade, they can take integrated math. So they will still have an opportunity to accelerate. We just no longer accelerate in sixth grade. We will now be accelerating in seventh grade. When will students get their schedules? That's a great question. So on the 11th in the morning, your child will be online for their web orientation with Ms. Hepner and the mentors. And then after 11:30, there will be an opportunity for sixth graders to come to campus to pick up their schedules, and or I will be doing a quick presentation for them as well. So more information on that to come, but it will be on the 11th. On the 11th, they will be arriving on campus with masks, please, to pick up their supplies, art supplies, their schedules, and then their music instruments as well, if they're taking a preview for their first preview class. How can we sign up for the Intro to Visual Arts class? So that's a great question. So after the first day of school, when the students get their schedules on the 11th, you will in your email immediately also get a change of schedule request form. And so when you get that change of schedule request form, if you did not sign up for Intro to Visual Arts when you were at STAR and doing registration there, then you will have an opportunity to sign up at that time. You will just fill out the form, and then once you fill out the form, Mr. Malay will call you in, and then your schedule will be changed. We'll call you in, will be virtually, obviously. When and how do I get an 8th class? So for this year, all the middle school students are automatically signed up for 8 classes. And so you can opt out of an 8th class. But all students naturally have been signed up for 8 classes this year. Next question, do you test kids for their math? Okay, I've already answered that question. Also, do kids choose their electives, or will they be assigned by the school? So that's a great question. So 6th graders will be assigned their first elective, which is their preview class, so that they can get exposure to all of their art forms. So they will be assigned to the preview class, which will be quarter by quarter. And so each quarter they will switch from music to visual arts to drama and to dance, and then they will rotate in that wheel And then the second arts class, the student gets to choose whichever one that they want. So the first preview class is one that's assigned to all students, to all sixth graders, because it's just a wheel. And then the second one, they will get to pick whatever class that they want. The next question, forgive me, I know there's a pickup day for parents that are working and cannot get to school to pick up. What should we do? That's a great question. If you cannot pick up the schedule on the 11th, we can email it to you as well. If you were to send us an email at the end of the day, and we'll have instructions on that as well, that if you can't come on the 11th to pick up the schedule, what you should do. But more than likely, you will have an opportunity to have the schedule emailed to you and your student as well. Can incoming seventh graders new to PFAA participate in the August 11th orientation? That's a great question. Typically speaking, it is mainly for our sixth grade students, but we do have a tour available for our incoming seventh graders that we normally do in a traditional year. I'm not sure if they would be able, because it's geared towards sixth graders. So let me look into that, and then I will get back to you on that. I actually don't know the answer to that question yet. So if you can send me a quick email, and then I will look into it and get back to you. And then I believe I received something that said orientation was on 8/11 from 11:30 to 2:30. Is that after the student or only orientation from 9:30 to 11:30? Yes. So the 9:30 to 11:30, you should have received an orientation for web, and so that's for just students. And then from 11:30 to 2:30, what that means is that that's the time for the parents, P4A time, and then also an opportunity for students to come and pick up their schedules on campus as well. And so that's what we mean by orientation from 11:30 to 2:30. We are still trying to figure out all of the time frames. We obviously want to give students an opportunity to log off of their virtual orientation with web, and then also give them some time to obviously eat lunch. And then after that, they'll probably either come to campus to pick up their schedule, and then there might be a quick presentation online before they come to campus. We're still trying to figure out that piece, but plan for picking up schedules, some sort of orientation from me, and some sort of presentation from our P4A president as well, from 11:30 to 2:30. And then, are the middle school meetings later today only for 7th and 8th graders? So the middle school meetings that are later on today are for our current middle school families that are either going into 7th grade or into 8th grade. What about students that are rather behind in math? That's a great question. We will have intervention available. We have a huge support network here. We have intervention available here. We're also, while we're in distance learning, we're planning for learning hubs as well, where our most vulnerable students will be provided an opportunity to come to campus to get extra support and extra help. We're just waiting for a little bit more guidance from the state if we are allowed to do that or not during distance learning. But during hybrid, we will definitely be able to provide small group instruction and interventions as well. Our para educators will be pushing into all the classes to provide support. You're welcome. When should we expect the web email? An email was sent yesterday, I think, or the day before. I'm sorry, not yesterday. I meant Friday or Thursday from Miss Hepner. If you did not receive a web email, just go ahead and send me an email, and I'll connect you with the right person for that. Do they also pick up Chromebooks? Yes. So that's why that time from 11:30 to 2:30 is so important, because that will be the time when they pick up their schedules, pick up their art kits for the kids who are taking visual arts for their preview class first, their instruments, if they're taking an additional music class, this is the time for them to pick up their Chromebooks as well. And so that's why that time needs to be a sacred time. So we're just trying to figure out how we're going to allow that, and what's going to be the best way to do it. That's going to be most efficient. So which is why it's really important that you definitely block out that day if possible, because your student will be busy from 9 to 11:30, and then after 11:30 they will likely be on campus picking up their schedules and Chromebooks and all of that. What is the first day of school? The first day of school is a Wednesday, August 12th. All right, I think that's all the questions. Any other questions that I can answer for you? If not, I actually would like to introduce our P4A president, Miss Wendy Ray Hill. She's going to talk a little bit about P4A and the support that we provide all of our students and our families. And I'm excited that we're working together to ensure that your student and your family feels successful here during this crazy time. So Wendy, if you're on, I can hand it over to you. Okay, perfect. I think you're muted.
Yep. Am I good now?
Yep. Yep.
Yay. Hi, everybody. Good morning. For those of you that are new to the Performing and Fine Arts Academy, you'll hear the acronym P4, number 4A. It stands for Parents for the Arts. This is PFAA's version of a PTA, or a parent group. It started many years ago to help supplement and support the arts programs at our school, because state funding only goes so far to provide those types of things for our students. And now it has turned more into a parent support group that also does fundraising and teacher support and so forth. We are our own 501c3. So we are not, we are a separate organization from the school, but you would never really know that because we work hand in hand and we have the same exact goals. For the past several years, for those of you that have had students at PFAA before, you know that P4A is a huge fundraising arm, right? So you're gonna hear, you know, we typically do fall fundraisers and we do winter fundraisers, and we have our big crab feed in the spring, and we raise tens of thousands of dollars that then go back directly into our classrooms to help support our teachers. Well, with the current situation that we're in, last year, for those of you that may have been involved in PFAA, our big fundraiser of the year, our crab feed, where we typically raise tens of thousands of dollars, was due to be, it was on, I believe it was on March 12th, and we were shut down on March 11th. Yay! So less than 24 hours notice, and we had to cancel the crab feed, our biggest fundraiser of the year. And with that, fall fundraisers and events that we have typically always done, like the talent show, the fall food fundraiser, all of those things are also completely off the table right now, which in some cases is a bad thing. But in other cases, given the fact that things are so crazy for all of us in what's happening with school, we actually have spent the summer pivoting. And instead of focusing on fundraising, we are wanting to focus on communication and support and how we can essentially keep parents involved in what's going on, but still plan for a future when our kids are going to be in school full time and they're going to be able to do the same things that they've always done. So with that said, the way that we typically do this is that we communicate with you through several means. One of them is that you'll notice every week you will be getting an update from Dr. Gandhi, the coordinator, about things that are going on. At the bottom of those updates, we also try to post anything that might be happening with P4A. The other things that we do is we do have a website that we are in dire need of parent volunteers to help update. And we also have a social media webpage that we try to communicate with folks about as well. We have what's called a leadership team. And the leadership team is basically the people that want to help organize things. And it's divided into, they're all volunteers, and it's divided into 4 sort of subcategories. One is the officers. Like I said, we are our own 501c3, so per our bylaws, we need a president, a vice president, a secretary, a treasurer, that executive committee to do the fiduciary responsibilities. So if there are folks that are interested in getting involved and wanting to do some, nonprofit administrative support, there's volunteer opportunities for that. We also have our boosters. Our boosters are basically parent supports for the various different art programs. So we have drama boosters, we have instrumental boosters, dance boosters, visual arts boosters, vocal boosters. And those are parents that work directly with those department heads and teachers to help do things. One of the biggest pivots that we're going to be seeing in our art programs this year is obviously going to be trying to do some type of virtual performances. This is going to require a lot of additional resources, and we're hoping that parents will help to work with the department heads and the other teachers in those programs to help provide things to make this stuff happen for our kids. Because yes, it's a very different experience when you've had a child that's been live on stage in a musical, having to pivot to, singing a part of a musical on a Zoom call with a bunch of other people. It's a different experience, but it's still a good, valuable experience. And we want them to be able to have these experiences, because there will be a day when we all get to see them on stage live. We also have various different committees. So committees to work on things like communicating with parents. How do we create volunteer opportunities in a virtual environment? We will have some elements of fundraising and how to sort of create those fundraising opportunities and things of that nature. And then where our biggest support is we need parent leaders to help provide communication and support networks for their particular classes. So we have our class representatives, which are essentially a leadership of parents that help to put together things like a monthly meeting to check in with all the 6th grade parents, or provide some sort of support around how do you learn how to use this new program, or things of that nature. So we're hoping to really be able to provide some great virtual opportunities for parents to be able to get involved. The great thing about a parent-run group and a parent-run group providing the opportunities is that we also tend to provide most of our opportunities in the evenings when we're not working. So it sometimes gives an opportunity to be able to be able to be involved a lot more than you might be if you are somebody who is working during the day, or if you're somebody who's just trying to keep your kid at this point in front of their Chromebook and get to all of their various different classes. So with that said, you'll learn a lot more about us and the different ways and opportunities that you can get involved and stay connected, and how we all can be of service to each other. If you would like to get in contact with me before the start of school, my email address is president@gmail.com. Please shoot me an email if you have some special skill, or you have a burning desire to help with something, or you have some great ideas that you're bringing with you from your previous school experiences, and we want you. We need you more than anything. The other little tidbit for those of you that are students that are listening, this is one of the things that my daughter, who's going into 8th grade, said. She said, the good thing about the Parents for the Arts is that you give the parents something to do so they stay out of our business. All right, so there is an element of that too. You know, we can check in with each other, but you know, for the students that are on, plug your ears. When we're connected, we learn more about what you're doing. So it's a great support all the way around. I look forward to meeting you all, whether it's virtually, hopefully soon in person. And everybody stay safe until I talk to you again. Seema, I think you're still muted.
Sorry. Thank you for that. And you know, Wendy and I are working really closely together to make sure that we work in conjunction with P4A to ensure that all students and all families feel supported here. So are there any other questions that I can answer for you? I see already many emails about web. And so actually Miss Hepner is on campus. So I'm having her come on over here. We're going to wear our masks to make sure that we are physically distant, so she can answer the 2 questions that you've posed about web, about 7th grade, and also about, come on in. Hi, Ms. Hepner. We have our 6th grade families on here right now. This is Ms. Hepner.
Hello.
She is our web advisor, and we have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
The first question is, can 7th graders join web?
Well, as web leaders?
No,
or
as web members.
you mean like to the orientation?
Correct.
It's 6th grade.
So web is only for 6th grade, and then
So here's what we do. Okay, can you hear me?
can you put a thumbs up?
if you can hear me. Okay. So what I usually do is for new incoming 7th graders, I assign a web leader to them, and they do a campus tour. If they have not been here on campus before, we do a campus tour, and then they check in with them periodically throughout the year to make sure that they're doing okay.
So just to clarify, they cannot attend web or orientation, but they will
Right,
be
it's
assigned a web mentor so that they can still get the virtual tour and also the check-ins as well.
Yes.
Okay. And then the second question that we have is, some of our families did not receive the web orientation email that you sent out.
Do we not have the right email for them?
So they emailed me. Can I just forward it over
Yep.
to you, and then you will send it to them? Okay, perfect. Sounds good.
See you soon. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that was perfect. We had our 2 web questions answered. So if you emailed me, I will forward it over to Ms. Hepner, and then she will get you the orientation for August 11th from 9 to 11:30. Any other questions? I think there are a few more questions on here that I can answer. So let me go through them. One of the questions is, would it be possible to get a list of the software that will be on Chromebooks so that if we are using our own computers at home, we can pre-install the software before the school year begins? That's a great question and a great idea. Yes, absolutely. If you want to send me an email, I will connect you with Joe Cook, who is our IT person, and then they can share with you all of the apps that will be on the Chromebooks for the students. Next question was, will there be a tech support number to call if the students have any technical issues with their Chromebooks? Yes. During our crisis teaching is what we call it. We also had a Google form available for our families to log on and get support. They were allowed to submit a form and then set up a time with our tech, and then they helped them and they walked them through all of the issues. What time do we pick up student stuff? That's a great question. So like I said, we're still trying to figure out the exact timing, but sometime between after web orientation, so after 11:30 up until about 2:30, sometime around then, expect to be on campus to pick up all of your supplies. Will you send the orientation information to our parents for 8/11? So the orientation information was already sent out by Ms. Hepner. So if you did not receive that, just send me an email and I'll connect you with her so that she can send it to you. What if our home internet goes down during class? How does a student notify their teacher to let them know? That's a great question. Your teachers, your sixth grade teachers will explain that process and that procedure to you during back to school night so that you know how and what to do if you are disconnected. But the general protocol for that is if you get disconnected, there's obviously nothing you can do, right? I was trying to share my schedule right now and it didn't share. So, sometimes, technology is a wonderful tool, but sometimes it just doesn't work in our favor, and there's not much more you can do. So the protocol typically is just that, you contact your teacher, letting them know as soon as you can. And sometimes that's the next day, and sometimes that's within 5 minutes, and it just depends on the situation. But each teacher will advise you of their protocol and their procedure during back to school night. Will we get a list of school supplies to purchase, i.e. Yes, we will. On August 7th, on the next weekly updates, I've started sending the weekly updates again every Friday. So if you did not get my weekly update last Friday, just send me an email so that I can connect you with our front office to make sure we have the correct email for you so that you are able to make sure that you're getting all of the information that you need. So on August 7th, you will get an email with all of our families where you will receive the recommended supplies that will help you be successful. Will the students be attending that schedule that you showed us earlier, but just online instead? So that's a great question. So I, at the community meeting, showed our distance learning schedule. And so that's the schedule that we will be following during distance learning and during hybrid learning. Once we go back to a traditional school year, the schedule will go back to the normal schedule. But we don't anticipate that happening for a long time. So for distance learning, classes will begin at 9 a.m. and they will go until 3 o'clock. And then from 3 to 4 will be office hours. And then when we're in a hybrid, you will log on from home if you're at home at 9 o'clock for your first period class. And then the day will end at 3, and then there will be office hours for the students who are learning at home from 3 to 4. And then when I also just remembered, when you come and pick up your schedule on the 11th, we will have an actual printed schedule for you as well. So you have that, so you know exactly what time to log on, and all of that will be provided for you. We are actually getting ready to print this week, so they will be available, so you don't have to search anywhere. It'll be all handed to you on the 11th. Any other questions that I can answer? Is there more information about the elective classes, visual arts? And I think you mentioned production. What is that class? So the intro to visual arts class is an introduction to visual arts. And so what the students will learn is the basic theory, learn about paint, learn about colors, and then the intro to the productions class is just for a 6th grade class. And so the exciting part about that is that it's only for 6th grade students. So it provides them an opportunity to learn about the theory behind theater, and then they will also participate in small minor productions, either virtually or in person, that they will get to show it to their families that that they've learned in their class. So it's basically gearing them up for the larger production classes and the larger and more advanced visual arts courses as they get older. When do we get the NCS face mask? That's a great question. NCS face masks will be provided to all students when we enter the hybrid environment. We have ordered them, so we're just waiting for them to arrive. Perfect. And yes, this is being recorded, and so yes, so I will make it available once all the meetings are done this week. Any other questions? When do they pick up Chromebooks? That's a great question. All Chromebook supplies, schedules will all be on the 11th between 11:30 and 2:30. You're welcome. I'm glad that you found it to be helpful. I can completely understand. I had a 6th grader last year on a personal level who's now going into 7th grade. And, you know, it was hard enough watching my child enter middle school. And then I can only imagine what you're feeling right now. Not only is it a crazy time, but it's also virtual. And so I want to make sure that you know that we're here to support you, your child, and it's going to be a fantastic year. It's going to be a crazy year, but it's going to be a fantastic school year, and I just know it. And your child will love it here, whether it's virtually or in person. Any other questions that I can answer for you? If not, you may log off. I will stay on and I will keep the recording on so that any questions, if you have any private questions, please don't ask. It is still being recorded. You are welcome to email me and I will answer those questions privately. Please know that I've already received about 40 emails with regards to web. So it'll take me some time to trickle through it, and I'm in Zoom meetings back to back all day today. So give me about 24 to 48 hours, but you should be receiving information about web if you didn't receive it pretty soon. Bye-bye. I'll stay on until the end. Yes, I will send the pre-recorded session of this meeting as well. It won't be until the end of the week because we have various meetings this week, so I wanted to send it all out together. But yes, I definitely will. I'm glad you found it helpful. Thank you. Hi, Ms. Biggs.
I was just going to say, hi, Seema.
How are you?
I'm good. We're taking a little staycation right now, so we're being pretty careful about not going out, but we've been getting takeout and
ooh, how exciting.
family and playing games and puzzles, and you know, it's not as fun as a real vacation, but
Is
You know,
he excited to be with Dad on campus?
what's that? Oh, Jaren.
Yeah.
I mean, he's excited to start as much as he is excited to start school. More than last year and other
Yay.
years of school. So that's good. And I think it'll be super good for him to have a change and do all the different classes. And yeah. And Joe's excited to go back to school, even though the students aren't going to be there. So yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had such a crazy summer?
Yeah, it's been intense. It's been
Yeah.
yeah, we just like you, we pretty much did a staycation and then we went to Bodega Bay for a little bit. But
Oh, nice.
yeah, and so we obviously physically distanced and
Yeah.
but not a lot of people were there.
Oh,
So
good.
so that made it really nice. And then other than that, I've just been working. I
I
mean,
know. I can't imagine how much all of the administrators have to
yeah,
work.
it's
Because I
pretty
feel like Joe's been doing way more work than a normal summer, and he's, teaching, which you don't have to pivot as much. But I think, man, the administration has to make all these decisions, and
yeah, and it's hard because it's like I mean, I'm as a parent myself, I can completely understand that you know I'm worried about my own kids too. I'm like, I don't know, so we just have to play it by ear and just hope for the best. And so
right.
we'll see.
I know. I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep him on a screen that's not what he wants from 9 to 3. But I'm like, nope, we can do it. I can do it.
And it won't be from 9 to 3. I think what the teachers not I think I know what the teachers are going to do is it's going to be logging on and then having independent practice time, breakout rooms and all that.
Oh, right.
Then logging. I mean, but it is still a lot of screen time. Like,
But it'll be different.
yes.
Yes, Joe told me that actually about from his side of it. So yeah,
It's
that's
you can't expect kids to be on for that long the entire time versus in a like dance class they would be on for 75 minutes because it doesn't make sense to go practice point on your own. It makes sense
right.
to see each other while you're practicing.
Right.
So each class is going to be more different.
Yeah.
And, most of the arts classes will likely stay on the entire time, and then the other classes will have to do group time, independent time, log back on, and all of that type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy. Okay, I already said this on Facebook, but congratulations on being Dr. Gandhi. That's so cool. Very excited.
Yeah, it's a little weird and surreal, but I don't know. I'm not big on like names and all that, but it's something that I really wanted to finish, and it took a long time, but it's done. So I'm like,
yeah. And I don't know. I appreciate just for myself and having a daughter and all the girls at school that I'm like, look, they're like, oh yeah, Dr. Gandhi. Okay. Like we can do this.
Yes.
So I think that's great.
And we have Dr. Ellis here too.
Yes.
So
I know the other night on the community meeting with Dr. Wood, Dr. Ellis, Dr. Gandhi, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. Just go for it. Anyone can do.
Yes, anything you want, reach for the stars. I really believe that. I really do.
See, I don't want it, so I don't want more school.
And that's funny because my husband's the same way too. He's like, you go ahead, you keep going.
Yeah.
As soon as I'm 50, I'm retiring. Like I'm done. He's like, I'm not doing anything beyond that.
Oh, that's so funny. Yes. Well, thank you so much for the meeting.
Thank you. I hope you found it helpful. I don't know if it
Yes.
was. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. And I'm really excited to pick up his schedule and just see all the stuff that he'll get to do.
Awesome.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll kind of get to meet the parents
know,
in
right?
some way.
Yeah, I think we'll have to do it like with the P4A way virtually
Oh
first.
yeah, okay.
Slowly start to come when we come back on campus during hybrid time, have that time again. I think.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, Ema.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
I think there are 2 more people on here. Are there any questions that I can answer for you? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording then.